Yeah, I'm crazy about music. You play beautiful music, beautiful sound.
Hi, my name's Matilda Ashe-Belton. I hope in this short video I can portray some of the amazing ways music helps the brain. More specifically, I want to look at the power of music helping those with Alzheimer's. So, let me show you exactly what got me interested in this. When reading the book, This Is Your Brain on Music, I found out how processing music happens throughout the brain. It has a few major computational centres. In the following images, by Mark Tramo, there are two illustrations of the brain. The first is a view from the side, and the second is the same view but from inside the brain. This is the motor cortex. Movement, foot tapping, dancing and playing an instrument. All this activity happens in this part of the brain. This is the sensory cortex. Tactile feedback from playing an instrument and dancing. Auditory cortex. The first stages of listening to sounds, the perception and analysis of tones. Prefrontal cortex. Creation of expectations, violation and satisfaction of expectations. Cerebellum. Movements such as foot tapping, dancing and playing an instrument, also involved in the emotional reactions to music. This is finally the visual cortex. Reading music, looking at the performance movements, including one's own. This is the corpus callosum. This connects the left and the right hemispheres of the brain. This section is the hippocampus, memory for music, musical experience and context. This is the cerebellum. Music such as foot tapping, dancing and playing an instrument also involved in the emotional reactions to music. This is the nucleus accumbens. Emotional reactions to music happen in this part of the brain. When doing my research, I decided to split my findings into a few subheadings: emotion, memory, learning and neuroplasticity. In this video, however, I'm only going to look at the memory and neuroplasticity parts. So, what is neuroplasticity? This is what I found when typing it into Google. Neuroplasticity allows the neurons, nerve cells, in the brain to compensate for injury, disease, and to adjust the activities in response to new situations or changes in the environment. Anyone confused by that? Basically, when someone's brain is damaged, the usual pathways to function are altered so that it needs to find or create new routes. Incredibly, music can provide the appropriate stimuli to create these new pathways and help the brain rewire itself. There's a study I found, conducted by the University of Newcastle in Australia. Popular music was played to patients with severe brain injuries, in some cases affecting their memory. Simply playing the music affected the patient's brain ability to reconnect with the memories they previously could not access. Peter Janetta, a neuroscientist at the University of California, Davis, said, "I don't think we're there yet with a bulletproof explanation for why this happens, but I do think this phenomenon is real and it's just a matter of time before it is brought out by scientific research." Many researchers have looked into this and now have ideas about music having an immediate positive effect on the brain. Why though? What is so special about certain music with different patients? Well, subconsciously, we all associate certain sounds or songs with specific emotions. Music tends to accompany events in our lives that arouse emotions and have a big impact on one's life. For example, the first dance at your wedding, a specific song for your childhood, or even songs paired with everyday activities. Neurologist Oliver Sacks says, "Music evokes emotion, and emotion can bring with it memory. It brings back the feeling of life when nothing else can." Current research indicates that areas in the brain which process music are less damaged by Alzheimer's or dementia compared to the other parts of the brain. Music therapy is seen as one of the most useful activities for those with dementia or Alzheimer's. Some of the activities include listening, performing, composing or improvising over a piece. This has been said to simulate remote memory and help reduce confusion of their surroundings. This kind of treatment is not only used for those with the late stages of Alzheimer's, it's actually better put into practice in the early stages of the disease. 70 to 90% of patients get agitated and often are confused by the surroundings, but research shows by playing them a song, specifically their favourite song, can improve their mood, reduce agitation, influence motor skills, perhaps by them dancing along, or even improve their social skills. I would now like to tell you a story about an elderly man called Henry Dreyer. He is a 92-year-old man with dementia. He has been in a care home for a decade after he was diagnosed, and he is said to be not responsive and slumped over his desk the majority of the day. His daughter talks about how musical he was when he was younger. She said that he would walk them down the street, singing a song, holding their hands, and a smile on his face. There's a program in America called Music and Memory. They work with and help residents in nursing homes and other organisations who suffer from a wide range of challenges by simply playing them some personalised music.
Hi, Papa. Hi, Papa.
Huh?
How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm fine. Wait.
Who am I?
I don't know. Wait a minute.
The transformation is so moving when Henry puts his headphones on. From seeing him curled over and often not opening his eyes at all, to this man who is responsive, who you could have a conversation with. He says, "Music gives me the feeling of love." He has his eyes wide open and will respond to even someone calling his name, which is something that hasn't happened in 10 years. A complete transformation. Obviously this is not permanent, but for his family it's just all they need to still feel connected with him. The effect even lasts after the headphones are removed. "I'm crazy about music," he says. "I guess Cab Calloway is my #1 band guy." This story, along with 7 others, is documented in the film Alive Inside. The film shows the uncanny power of music reawakening emotions and lost memories. Oliver Sacks appears in this documentary. He's an author and neurologist who has written extensively about the effects of music on the brain. In the film he says, "In some sense, Henry is restored to himself. He remembers who he is. He has reacquired his identity for a while through the power of music."
Oh, the home bell for Christmas. Oh, you can count and plan on me with plenty of snow, mistletoe, present wrapped around your tree.
I want to leave you with a quote by Sting. "Music seems to have an almost willful, evasive quality, defying simple explanation, so that the more we find out, the more there is to know." Thank you so much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed it. Here are a few books for anyone who's interested in finding out more about the impact music has on your brain. Musicphilia by the one and only Oliver Sacks. Music, Language and the Brain by Anuruba Patel. Of course, This Is Your Brain on Music. And finally, Listen to This by Alex Ross.